Morning to all of you. In this session, we will cover all these points which are related to cyber security and cyber forensics. First of all, we will cover SQL injections and vulnerability testing, by which particular way we can check whether a particular website is vulnerable or not. Okay, from different parameters, from different aspects. Okay, as in any website, in any web-based application, there is a login form, or there are number of registration pages, login forms, and uh, other online aspects. Okay, so in this particular scenario, we will check which particular strings can damage, which particular strings can manipulate the internal processing of any web server. Okay, by which particular strings can be entered in username and password, and corresponding to those username and passwords, those special strings, we can check whether that particular website can be cracked or not. So in this particular scenario, we will not attempt any cracking, or we will not hack any website, but we will check whether that particular website is vulnerable or not, or whether a particular application or web-based software is secured against different special strings, different special characters. Okay, and after that we will move towards Python programming for cyber forensics. And as you are from uh, engineering background, you might be involved in number of projects, major projects and minor projects. And in classical way, we are always thinking about .NET, PHP, or very classical project approaches like payroll library system, employees management system. Okay, but we never go for the real life projects, real time projects. What is meaning of real time projects? As um, uh, we, in our routine life, on different media, different news channels, we see that this particular celebrity is very much famous on Twitter. This particular minister or election candidate is very much popular on at this particular constituency. Okay, and news channels make predictions using some scripts, and all these scripts are applied on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and other social platforms. So all these projects, all these scenarios, you can also take in your major projects, minor projects. Okay, how to fetch live data from YouTube. Okay, suppose a movie is released, or going to be released, by which particular technology or by which particular algorithm it is predicted that this movie will have $100 billion in next 10 days, or it will cross the business of previous movie, or suppose a movie has crossed 100 crores in 10 days. So by which particular algorithmic approach we can predict that the other movie, B movie, will cross the business of A movie. Okay, so fetching live data from YouTube, fetching live data from Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp. Okay, you can work on all these technologies, and using these aspects, obviously, you will be able to devise a new algorithm for better prediction. Okay, or you can check the accuracy of prediction that is made by different news channels. Okay, suppose A, B, C are three different news channels. They are predicting that this particular movie or this particular celebrity is having this much scale of popularity. You can check, you can verify, or you can specify which of these particular news channel is giving better results. Okay, this particular domain comes under sentiment analysis, sentiment data analysis, or opinion mining, which is the research area in data mining. That is the part of advanced data mining. In classical data mining, what we do, simply clustering, association rule mining, classification. All these algorithmic approaches are there. Okay, so opinion mining, sentiment data analysis, all these topics are still under research, and you can prepare your projects in this particular domain. Suppose you are given the task to develop a Java code, okay, and in that particular Java code, you will there will be some text boxes, or there will be some particular input boxes, and in that particular input box you specify a particular keyword or set of keywords. So depending upon different combinations of those keywords, live data from Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter should be fetched out, and sentiment analysis algorithm should be implemented, and then finally plotting of graphs, that this particular keyword is giving this much results. Okay, so any example you can take, and obviously it is better if you work on all these libraries. Okay, there are number of online tools available, there are number of third party APIs available from Stanford, from NASA, okay, and other portals also.
Hari, how's it going? Learning? Right? These 5 days has to be good enough for you guys, okay? Right? So sir, please इनको शाम तक ना खत्म कर दीजिएगा, ठीक है? Good luck, guys. Very honest. Just take a quick question. चलो, take care. Okay.
Okay, so we will cover fetching YouTube data or views, and on that fetched data set we can make predictions. Okay, fetching live data from Instagram and Twitter, applying sentiment mining and predictions of score. Suppose we want to check whether Obama is more famous than Narendra Modi. We can check in real time. Okay, using Java programming, using Python programming, using PHP programming, in any programming language. So there are number of APIs available which provides you APIs. APIs means application programmer interface. They will give you some functions, they will give you some packages, and obviously in those functions you will input your parameters, and each and every function provides returns you some status code, some output, and that particular output can be recorded in a file or Excel sheet or XML or any other format. And once we have data in Excel format or XML format or JSON format, we can apply any algorithm. Okay. So first of all, we will start from the basics of SQL injections and vulnerability analysis. Okay. What is meaning of SQL injection and where it can be implemented? If we want to check the vulnerability of any web-based application, okay, so in which particular module, in which particular part we enter the data? Obviously there is a login form, okay, and to access anybody's inbox or to access anybody's dashboard, I should have legal or validated username and password. Okay, if I don't have validated email and password or authentic authentications or genuine authentications, in that case, what will happen? After n number of repeated unsuccessful attempts, that particular module will be logged. Okay. at the backend. Now we study what happens at the backend. Whenever we enter username and password or email and password in any login form, at the backend, a SQL query is executed. Okay, select star from table name where username equal to this and password equal to this. Okay, and in any database package of this world, whether it is Oracle, Ingress, DB2, SQL Server, any server, okay, any database server. Why? Because all database servers, all database technologies use SQL at the backend. Okay, so at the backend level, this is the query. Select star from, suppose table is users. Okay, where username equal to this and password equal to this. Okay, this is the classical format of any SQL query. Even if you develop a project in JSP or with JDBC or SQL Server or PHP, so obviously this is the query that is fired. Okay, and output of this query is returned back in some variable $q. If we take example of your PHP, if we take example of Python, in that case simply q can be mentioned. Okay, now if we enter valid username at this location and valid password at this location, in that case value of $q will be true. True will be returned back to $q. If we enter wrong information in any parameter, username or password or both, in that case false will be returned back in $q. And finally what will happen, login failed will be there. Now what will happen if we enter something at this location and password which is globally true, which cannot be false at any instance? What is that particular string or what is that particular mathematical function or formula? If we specify 1 equal to 1, 1 equal to 1 is true, 5 is equal to 5 is true. Okay, in C you might have learned about it. C and C, especially in C, every known zero value is true and zero value is false. Even minus 5 is also true in C. Minus 1 billion is also true in C. Every non-zero value is true. Okay, and zero value is false. In similar way, we can manipulate the backend processing of SQL. Here, if we put something like 1 or equal to this, in that case, what will happen? 1 or 1 is equal to 1. If we format it like this, 1 or 1 is 1 and 1 equal to 1 is 1. That is true. Okay, and similar string we can enter here. So what is SQL injection or SQL injection string at this instance? This is the SQL injection string. Okay, and there are number of websites available on internet on which you can apply these SQL injections. Okay, and if all those websites are not having mechanism against SQL injection, then you will move into the dashboard of first account in that particular portal. And in classical way, the first account in any website is the administrator's account. Okay, uh, whether you are taking example of school's website or website of college or any organization or hospital or ERP system, the very first account created in database is in general administrator's account, and this SQL injection will move you towards first account, towards the dashboard of first account, and that particular dashboard will have all options including change password, including change hint question, change profile, update profile, each and everything will be there. Okay, as this particular and as this particular scenario is being recorded live, so we can't show you the real demo. Okay, of that particular penetration. Okay, so when you will move to different PCs, individual PCs, and then I will show you some demonstrations individually on different websites. Even at this particular instance, I can't name those websites which are vulnerable towards these SQL injections. Okay, because it will be very dangerous for those websites if we name those websites at this platform which is being recorded. Okay, so in practice session after few moments, I will show you the live demonstrations. Okay, now how to test or how to check different websites whether these are vulnerable or not before applying these SQL injection strings. Okay, so very simple, it is very simple aspect. Suppose I write here school, so obviously it will Google will retrieve all schools, name of websites of all schools, all prominent schools. Okay, if I write school Mumbai, in that case it will display all schools of Mumbai which are having good rank in Google. Now if I want to go towards directly login page, in that case what we will do, simply in URL login.asp. Now Google will revert back with name of with websites of all schools and directly their login pages. You can see this is SP Jan School, and you can see this is the directly login page. So our efforts are saved a lot. We are directly at this point. So we can enter SQL injection here, that string here, and simply submit. And if this particular website is vulnerable, then obviously we can move to the dashboard. Okay, but we will not enter it at this instance because of security and privacy issue for this particular organization. Okay, in similar way you can do like this. We are directly on the login page. So it is one of the very classical way of coding. You might be working in this particular manner that login page is saved as login.asp or login.html or login.jsp. So you can see if your login page is mentioned or your login page is saved as login.asp, then it can be easily searched out in Google. Okay, so your file name should not be exactly same as its processing. If you are creating a login page, in that case it should not be saved as login.asp or login.php. Why? Because it can be easily searched out from search engines. So using this particular way or in this particular manner, we are lessening the efforts of hackers. Okay, but as a developer we should harden the efforts of crackers. In similar way you can go like this, simply put username, password, and In username that particular SQL injection, in password that SQL injection, and simply click login. And if that particular uh, and if this particular website is not built with security against SQL injection, in that case you will be in the dashboard. Okay. And one more thing is, we should note that it is very much clear that this website is created in ASP. Okay. Login.php. Now it will show you schools. Now it is very much clear that these websites are developed in PHP programming or developed with PHP code. And any good programmer of PHP can crack these websites. Is it possible to run a PHP page with JSP or with ABCD? Have you ever tried this? To disguise the crackers, have you ever seen the extension, file extension in Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, or LinkedIn? They never show you the actual extension. In this URL also you can see there is no extension. There are some encrypted strings. 8e this. Even in Facebook, Twitter, you will never see any programming extension. .jsp, .php. So you should also adopt this particular thing, uh, to rename the file to a separate extension, and which is anonymous, which is not known to the other parties. Uh, as you are from Himalayan Institute or Himalayan group of institutions, then your all files can be saved as login.hgi, hgis. Okay, its action will be login confirm.hgis. Okay, so your all web pages are saved with .abc, .xyz, .hig, .hgi, all these anonymous and vague extensions. So what will happen with this technology or with this implementation? The cracker or hacker will not come to know about the technology you are using at the backend. If cracker is aware with backend technology, and that cracker is very much comfortable in that particular scenario, in that in that case your application will be vulnerable. Okay. Have you worked on PHP? How many of you are comfortable in PHP? Not very uh, complex programming, just simple classical programming. You are comfortable in PHP, WAMP server or XAMPP server. There is a file, php.ini file. You might have seen php.ini file. Okay, and there is a particular file of Apache web server, httpd.conf. httpd.conf. In httpd.conf, we can rename the extensions. Okay, now I will show you a very simple demo. I will create a hello world in PHP, but its extension will be .jsp and it will run. So what will happen? It will disguise the crackers or hackers that this website is developed in Java, and they will attempt the injection of Java, and it will not work. Why? Because heterogeneous technologies, different technology, or any other. So first of all, we will download WAMP server or XAMPP server. We can take. First of all, I'm checking whether it is already having XAMPP server or not. Yes, XAMPP server is already there. So no need to download it again. XAMPP, okay, we have to download it. We are installing XAMPP server, and we will create simple pages in PHP, and these pages will be executed with other extension. Okay, not with PHP. In CXAMPP, similar practice can be done in case of Java. Whether you are using Tomcat server or Glassfish server, extensions can be renamed dynamically. Okay, so it is almost complete setup of XAMPP server, and in this XAMPP server, we will search for httpd.conf or apache.conf file. In that file, we will specify special extensions. Okay, it is installed and finished. Now you can see it is running, and we will check. First of all, we will start the services Apache, and here we can check localhost, and it is running. Okay, in classical way, which type of programming we do, or which type of coding is there? PHP, and this file is saved in C XAMPP htdocs. C XAMPP htdocs, and this is your file. Suppose it is your g.php. Okay, and if I specify any other extension, it will not run. It is mandatory to use .php. Okay. But after, but with a few settings in web server, we can use separate extensions. Okay, now you can see it is running. Now, is it possible to run this page as .jsp or .nitrrr? Okay. So, how to program that particular thing? How to specify separate extension? So, we go to in Apache admin, in Apache config httpd.conf. In httpd.conf, you can see different modules. Okay, these modules are running. In similar way, there is a file in PHP, that is php.ini file. C XAMPP PHP. php.ini. Yes. Okay, so we can add some new extensions. First of all, we'll check the location of that particular file, exam. So this is the line that is added in .stxs file. Add type application slash x httpd php5, and this file is created specifically .stxs. By default, it is not there in BAMP server. By default, you will find this particular file. Okay, but in XAMPP server, you will have to create it manually. In similar way, online, if you are having online control panel, you can add this particular extension. So this is the online control panel of any website. Okay. Here you can check the htaccess file. Whenever you book a new domain, you are provided this type of interface. This is known as cpanel. Okay, and in cpanel, you go to the htaccess file. So this is your htaccess, and in this particular file, you can add a new extension. Okay, here anywhere you can write that particular line, and after that, your PHP code will be executed as JSP, ASP, or ASPX or any other extension. One more thing is there in security. Have you ever heard about encryption of source code? Encryption of source code. Whenever we create a code, whether in JSP or PHP or in any other or in technology, we the industry provides the source code to client in encrypted way, or even in our systems we can encrypt the source code. Why? Or specialized logic. Suppose there is a particular flow of code, and in that particular code there is a particular function, there is a particular module, that is the business logic, that is the key business logic. So you can obfuscate that particular source code so that anybody else, the different programmer, other programmer cannot understand your logic. This technology or this approach is known as code obfuscation. This is known as code obfuscation. Have you ever implemented this code obfuscation? Code obfuscation means to encrypt the source code. So what will happen if you suppose you have developed a project in PHP or Java or in C, you can obfuscate your source code. You can give that source code to anybody else, and that particular person, that recipient, will not be able to understand and modify that particular code. Okay, and there are number of online tools available for code obfuscation. You can check online code obfuscators. Online code obfuscators, and in all programming languages these are available. You can see JavaScript obfuscator or any other online code obfuscation PHP. Okay, online PHP obfuscator. Now, if you write your code, if you paste your code here in that, and now you can see, so this is your source code, obfuscated source code. So this code is simply hello. This is the obfuscated source code. So hello is written like this. And if you run this code on WAMP server or LAMP server or XAMPP server, it will display hello. Now you can imagine if you are if you have developed a source code for any big project, okay, and you apply obfuscation. In that case, your source code will be fully secured. Even if this code is given to or copied by anybody else, then they will not be able to do anything with this particular code because it is not understandable. It is in STY format, binary format. In similar way, you can test for other codes like this for $I. Okay, so we can obfuscate it and automatically it is transformed to this. So a simple loop is encrypted to this particular scenario. So in this way you can encrypt and secure your code. Your actual code can be at a different location, and for delivery, it is not necessary to encrypt or obfuscate the complete source code. You can obfuscate a specialized module, a specialized function that is performing an important task in your project. Okay. So other services are also available. You can see human code obfuscation, C, C++, for all languages. These are available. So these three lines of code will be transformed to this. Okay, and this is known as full obfuscation. Which type of security you want to apply, which hash function you want to apply for cryptography. Now you can see this is the source code. This is actual code. $I increment of a variable, very simple. But in obfuscation, it is like this. and if you run it on XAMPP server or WAMP server, it will execute without any error. Okay, or what you can do, the intermediate parts, some parts in between your source code can be obfuscated to impose the security. Obfuscated C, Java. There are number of libraries available. Okay. So after obfuscation, it will be like this C code. And obviously it is not understandable by even by the expert programmer. It is not understandable. But this type of source code is easily understandable. Your plain text. This is before obfuscation and after obfuscation. PHP, Java. Even you can create your own obfuscator, by which way it can be developed. It can be your major or minor project to develop, to create a source code obfuscator. Dynamically, your characters will be transformed to any other character, and at a runtime, that particular decryption will take place before compilation. Okay, before compilation, decryption will take place, and after compilation, you can get the actual results. Any doubt so far? Any questions so far? हाँ जी सर। हम्म, हाँ जी हाँ जी हाँ जी हाँ जी हाँ जी। हाँ, उसमें नहीं हो पाता ये। उसमें उसके लिए उसमें एक्चुअल में क्या है कि अभी जो बिल्कुल रिसेंट डेटाबेस टेक्नोलॉजीज हैं, उसमें हम RDBMS यूज नहीं करते। आपने सुना होगा नो सिक्वल डेटाबेसेस के बारे में। नो सिक्वल डेटाबेस जैसे मोंगो डीबी है आपका, कैसेंड्रा है आपका, काउच डीबी और नियो 4J, आजकल इस पर काम होता है। तो इस तरह के जो डेमोन्स्ट्रेशन है, इस तरह की जो स्ट्रिंग्स हैं, इनको डेमोन्स्ट्रेट करके, इनको शो करके हम ये एक्चुअल में मोटिवेट करते हैं डेवलपर्स को कि वो जो मोंगो डीबी है, जो कैसेंड्रा है, वो उसको यूज करें, क्योंकि उन डेटाबेस सिस्टम्स पर आपके SQL इंजेक्शन अप्लाई नहीं हो पाते। सो देर इज नीड टू माइग्रेट द क्लासिकल डेटाबेस सिस्टम्स टू एडवांस डेटाबेस टेक्नोलॉजी। और एडवांस डेटाबेस टेक्नोलॉजी में क्या है आपका, कंप्लीट जेसोन स्क्रिप्टिंग एट द बैक एंड। अब जैसे आपका फेसबुक है, फेसबुक का जो बैक एंड डेटाबेस है दैट इज कैसेंड्रा। ट्विटर जो है दैट इज यूजिंग काउच डीबी। ओके, एंड आधार कार्ड implementation that is done in India. Okay, it is completely based on MongoDB. They are not using Oracle, MySQL, DB2, nothing. Okay, MongoDB. तो ये आपके नो सिक्वल डेटाबेसेस है। नो सिक्वल डेटाबेसेस का मीनिंग नॉट ओनली सिक्वल। ओके, दे आर नॉट एसिड compliance. There is no acid properties, atomicity, consistency, integrity, durability. It is not there. And if these are not present, in that case these SQL injections will fail. ठीक है, तो जो अभी रिसेंट टेक्नोलॉजीज हैं, उसमें उसमें अगर आप मोंगोडीबी या कैसेंड्रा को यूज करते हो, तो वहां पर आपको ये इशू नहीं आएंगे। पर अभी भी मोर देन 90% एजुकेशनल वेबसाइट्स जो हैं या जो एनजीओ की वेबसाइट्स हैं, गवर्नमेंट वेबसाइट्स हैं, दीज आर रनिंग ऑन क्लासिकल आरडीबीएमएस सिस्टम। एंड आरडीबीएमएस सिस्टम की जो मेजर लिमिटेशन है, उसकी जो मेजर जो आपकी कॉम्प्लिकेशन आती है, दैट इज रीड राइट लॉक्स कंकरेंसी। अब आपके पास बिलियंस मिलियंस ऑफ कस्टमर्स हैं, बिलियंस मिलियंस ऑफ ट्रैफिक है एक सेकंड में, तो जो क्लासिकल आरडीबीएम में सिस्टम है वो आपका काम नहीं कर पाएगा। इसीलिए जो आपके ये है, फेसबुक है, ट्विटर है, जीमेल, इन्होंने अपना अपना डेटाबेस सिस्टम डेवलप किया हुआ है और ये नो सिक्वल डेटाबेस पर काम कर रहे हैं। देयर इज नो इशू ऑफ कंकरेंसी। अब जैसे जो व्हाट्सएप है आपका, व्हाट्सएप पर डेली 30 बिलियन मैसेजेस ट्रांसमिट होते हैं, रिसीविंग एंड सेंडिंग 30 बिलियन डेली। तो अगर हम इसको ओरेकल पे डिप्लॉय कर दें तो वो फेल हो जाएगा, काम नहीं, आपका डेटाबेस क्रैश हो जाएगा। ठीक है। अगर हम बात करें कि जो आधार इम्प्लीमेंटेशन है उसके बैकएंड पर अगर मंगो डीबी की जगह ओरेकल को रख दें, हम माईसीक्वल को रख दें, डीबी2 को रख दें, तो वो काम नहीं कर पाएगा। तो इट इज एडवाइजेबल टू यूज एडवांस डेटाबेस सिस्टम्स फॉर योर प्रोजेक्ट्स। जैसे फ्रंट एंड पर तो आप कोई भी टेक्नोलॉजी यूज कर सकते हो, चाहे पाइथन यूज करो, पीएचपी, पर बैक एंड पर आप इनको कर सकते हो यूज। एंड ऑल दीज आर हाई परफॉर्मेंस सिस्टम्स, हाई परफॉर्मेंस डेटाबेस सिस्टम्स। तो उसका मैं आपको दिखाऊंगा अभी एक छोटा सा डेमो कि इस पे कैसे काम होता है। इसके जो बैकएंड है, बैकएंड पर जितने भी ये आपके नोसिक्वल डेटाबेसेस हैं, देयर इज ओनली फाइल सिस्टम। बैकएंड पर ये सिर्फ एक फाइल यूज करते हैं, दैट इज जेसन फाइल, जावास्क्रिप्ट ऑब्जेक्ट नोटेशन। इसका मीनिंग क्या हुआ कि आप जो भी कुछ उसमें डेटाबेस क्रिएट करते हो, जो भी आप उसमें टेबल क्रिएट कर रहे हो, जो भी आप उसमें रिकॉर्ड डाल रहे हो, ईच एंड एवरीथिंग इज क्रिएटेड एंड मेंटेन्ड एट फाइल लेवल, फाइल सिस्टम। और आपको पता है कि फाइल सिस्टम इज फास्टर देन एनी अदर टेक्नोलॉजी। जो एक बेस टेक्स्ट फाइल सिस्टम होता है, जेसन जो है आपका बेस फाइल सिस्टम है आपका, तो उसको हम यूज करते हैं। वही सिस्टम आपका यूट्यूब यूज कर रहा है, वही सिस्टम आपका व्हाट्सएप यूज कर रहा है एट वेरी बेस लेवल। जैसे अब आपको दिखाते हैं इसमें, मैं आपको ना उसमें दिखाता हूँ अभी। जब पाइथन का हम कोड करेंगे ना, पाइथन कोड के थ्रू ऑटोमेटिकली आपका जेसन जनरेट होगा। तो फिर मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ कि जैसे ट्विटर से हमने लाइव डाटा फैच करना है, फेसबुक से हमने डाटा लाइव फैच करना है, तो वो किस फॉर्मेट में होता है, और फिर हम उस पर कौन कौन सी टेक्निक्स अप्लाई कर सकते हैं प्रिडिक्शन के लिए या कंक्लूजन ड्राइंग के लिए। ठीक है। आपके भी सिस्टम्स अभी काम करते हैं ना? एक बार आप ना इन सिस्टम्स पर इन सिस्टम्स को एक बार ऑन करो और उस पर मैं आपको दिखाता हूँ। तो टी बैग के बाद हम आगे करते हैं।